Hello and welcome to CGTN's live streaming today. And this morning we come to the China's National Center, Convention Center in northern Beijing. And this morning there's a very special event that's being held here. That is the 15th China National International Nuclear Industry Exhibition. It is here. I bet all of you usually have the experiences of the auto show, the Comic Cons, but few people have experiences of the touring in this nuclear industry exhibition. So this morning we come here to have a tour in this very special event. This is a very big exhibition hall that is equivalent to the size of 30 basketball courts. And the first booth we encounter here is from China's National Nuclear Corporation, that is abbreviation named CNNC. Well, this company is a Chinese first one. It built China's first ever nuclear power plant in Qinshan in East China's Zhejiang province. And during the past 60 years, the company says it has paid very much attention to safety and security of the nuclear power plant and technologies. So we come to this very special model here. Well, that is so-called Hualong 1 third generation nuclear power reactors. But I'm not an expert, so we may need some kind of expert to explain to us how it is special and how does it work. Excuse me, I'm a reporter from CGTN, so can I ask you some questions? We know that this is a third generation reactor design individually and independently by China. So what is special about this third generation reactor?
So the HPR 1000 is an advanced pressurized water reactor which is independently developed by CNNC based on its 30 years experience of China nuclear power industry. As a third generation nuclear power plant, it adopts active plus passive design concepts. Which
I got a question. What does a passive mean? So because yesterday I attended a seminar on nuclear safety organized by the Asia-Europe meeting. A lot of the experts do remember the daunting scene of the 2011 Fukushima accident triggered by the tsunami. And during the past 7 years, a lot of the measures and tangible actions have been taken by various countries across the world, including the Hualong 1 technology. Could you tell us what is this passive technology means? What is the safety measures?
Yeah, so as the third generation nuclear power plant, the HPR 1000 has three main safety features. The first one is the 177 nuclear core, which means there are 177 fuel assemblies inside the core reactor,
so that is
the reactor core.
Okay.
Yeah. And the second one is the single unit layout, which means there is only one unit inside the reactor building. And the third one is the double shell containment, which means compared with the previous nuclear reactors, there is one extra layer of shell added to the outside, which means the resistance of the outside and also internal accidents have been greatly improved.
I got a question. So someone said this shell of the reactor and the outside exterior has a very special feature. Can you tell us about it?
You mean the outside, the external shell? Yeah,
the shocking from outside. For example, the airplanes and also the tsunami, the earthquake.
Yeah.
So does it have the capacity to resist such a shock?
Yeah, so during the process of design and construction, the experience and feedback learned from Fukushima accident and the 911 accident has been adopted. So the double shell containment is capable of resistance of accidents like earthquake and airplane crash.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you show us some other models or exhibits here? And we know that, because I mentioned that I'm not expert, I do not know how does the generation 1, generation 2, and even generation 3 and 4, what's the definition? How do we define the generations between the reactors?
Basically, it's like every new generation of a nuclear reactor. Once it is updated to a higher level, the safety level is more advanced.
Okay.
Now I would like to proudly present you the Chinese first generation advanced reactor.
Okay.
Just like the HPR 1000, this one is also it also has an independent intellectual property rights of China. The high temperature gas-cooled reactor is jointly developed by CNNC and Tsinghua University, one of the top in the Chinese mainland.
And one of the things is what is so special about the fourth generation you mentioned about, because we just saw the third generation of Hualong 1 technology. What is this one is special about?
So compared with the third generation nuclear power plants, one thing special to mention here is that the safety measurement has been further improved. For example, it assures the prevention of the meltdown of the reactor core and also the radioactive release. Okay. And in addition to that, with the inherent and multi-purpose, this gas-cooled reactor plays a significant role in seawater desalination, also petrochemicals and coal gasification and liquefaction.
Okay, thank you. I guess a lot of people would be curious about how nuclear technologies would be involved with our everyday life. So besides electricity and medical treatment, what else can nuclear power or nuclear technology can be involved with?
Yeah, sure. So like everyone knows, nuclear can greatly improve the efficiency of generation, and also it can change people's daily life. Now I would like to present you the pool type.
Well, this is a
this is a model of
this model. What kind of model it is actually? There is a residential compound. There definitely is a reactor, but I got a question. What is it for? What is this reactor for, and why is it built so close to a residential compound? Does it have people have feared about these so close distance?
Yeah. This reactor is called a pool-type low-temperature reactor. In Chinese, it's called Yanlong.
So it's for the heating system.
Yeah. In Chinese, Yanlong means the dragon in the north, which also reflects the main purpose and feature of this reactor, which is providing heat for northern areas in China, most of which are very cold in winter. Up to now, the demo project of this Yanlong reactor has succeeded in continuously providing heating for 168 hours, which has provided a green and new solution, the solution of zero emission for urban heating. We can see that this is very close to the urban area.
The map showing how it works.
Yeah. So
I got a question. It's simply like if we build a reactor so close to the residential area, does it cause fear among people, especially those people? Do they support or they against this kind of the application? Although a lot of the experts say the nuclear energy is a green, is a sustainable development of energy. But we still have this concern. How do they explain?
Yeah, so before every nuclear power plant or nuclear reactor is built, a very comprehensive feasibility study will be conducted before the construction process. In this case, not only the safety of the reactor is maintained. For example, the cooling system, and also the waste treatment is guaranteed to make sure that it wouldn't influence people's life.
Okay, that is that's a part of the feature of this reactor called this. So it is really small, and it can provide the heat during the winter season, especially in Beijing. So let's take a tour. Also in this booth of CNNC, do you have any other ideas of how these reactors is working and functioning, and any other particular thing to show us during this time here?
Yes. Before, after we've seen.
Excuse me. What is that? This thing is so particular, like the metal poles. But what exactly are these things?
So just now we've seen the third generation and fourth generation nuclear power plants. So this is the elements which makes the nuclear reactor running. And
I got it. This is
inside.
So this is an energy core, as this is a few assembly for the reactors. But what are they? But they have the different sizes and different shapes. For example, this one is just like the beams and poles, but that one looks like there are some kind of balls, metal balls. So what's the differences among these things?
These are basically the few assembly and few elements inside the reactor core. Every nuclear element has the uranium inside.
Uranium inside.
Yeah, which runs the whole nuclear reactor.
Okay, thank you very much for touring this very amazing and spectacular booth of CNNC. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll continue our tour. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. We just have the very brief visit in the CNNC booth. Right now, we're going to the other booth, very close to this one. That company is the second largest company in China, also specialized in nuclear power technology. We just go this way. This booth is called the CGTN. That's China General Nuclear Corporation, based not in Beijing, based in Shenzhen, in southern part of China's Guangdong province. Well, this place is actually, this company is also the co-designer of China's third generation Hualong 1 technology, or the reactor technology. So we come here and see there is a very special thing. There's a control center. So we come closer and let's take a look what is exactly there about. Good to see you. I'm a reporter from CGTN, and I'm curious about this control center about this Hualong 1 technology. So could you tell us, we know about the golden operators from the Hualong 1 technology, because they said that all the operators on this platform, they would take years to train themselves to become the experienced ones. That would take years. How many years do they need to become the qualified operators?
I can give you phone numbers about the nuclear power plant operator. From the graduate to the senior operator, the training cost of each operator is about 1.5 million. And they will take at least 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah, 7 years to learn 100 courses and about 300 plant systems of the plants. Yeah, okay. It's very difficult road. Yeah.
Okay, so why would people say the golden operators could have taken as a civil aviation pilot? So the training fees to become an experienced operator, would it be the same or even larger than that?
Yeah, the training fee is about the heavy is about their 体重, their you know.
I guess suppose you are the operator here, and could you show us how this control center operates? This is there are a lot of screens here. Can you tell us basically about the information here?
Okay, this plant is a simulation of the main control room of HPR 1000, Hualong 1号.
Hualong 1.
Yeah, it's about it's generation 3 of the nuclear power plant technology, and the operator can monitor and control all the plant devices or systems in the control room, and So it's very important. It's to the plant what the heart is to our human body. Yeah. So it's high integration. It's high integration for the man and the machine. Yeah.
Well, I got it really puzzled because there are so many information on your screens, and there is on the graphics, and there's some figures. I don't know exactly what they're about, but
you can see that display. The operator can get the pressure and the temperature of the reactor. The first circle loop is a very important parameter to the plant. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. And anything else to show us during your proof?
These two, these two are the operator workplace. Yeah, actually in the real main room, there are 4 operator workplace. Yeah, the operators can get all the parameters, all the plant, all the devices and the system, the information from this. Yes.
Okay, so I got a closer look at that machine. So this is called in Chinese the 和睦系统, or the harmony system in English. What does that mean? Is it a computer?
The English name is thermostat.
Oh, good to see you, sir. So I'm the reporter from CGTN, and we come here today for the live streaming for our audiences. Could you tell us what this computer is all about?
Okay, this is the first nuclear safety device of China, which developed by CTEC. The nuclear power DCS is regarded as the nervous center of the nuclear power plant. It's very important to the plant's safe and stable operation.
I got a question. Could we define it as the brain or nerve of the nuclear power reactors?
Yeah.
Let me come a little closer.
The nuclear safety device consists 2 parts. The no safety device and the safety device. From this is the nuclear safety device.
Oh.
It's mainly responsible for the reactor shutdown and accident consequence mitigation. So it's very important. And the system must have 2 main features. The first one, it must have high reliability level.
Reliability level.
Yeah.
Okay.
The system can correctly perform safety functions than 10 million.
Okay, so actually it also included in the 3rd generation reactor technologies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for introduction to the common system or the harmony system. Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, actually, we're on the live streaming of CGTN. This morning, we come to China's National Convention Center. And right now, over 200 companies and also institutions from over 50 countries gather here. They're demonstrating their latest technologies of nuclear technologies and nuclear industries, especially the nuclear power. After the tour in the CNNC and CGN, China's 2 largest nuclear power corporations, we come to the other part. That's the science popularization section of this exhibition. Follow me. Well, this area is really special because a lot of people don't have the experiences of knowing what is nuclear science, what is nuclear industry, what is nuclear power, how is it important to our daily life. So a lot of scientists or the researchers, they are awarding people during the past 1 year who popularized the science of nuclear and letting public to know the basic information about the sector. We will meet one scientist there. Hello. Well, this is Mr. Wang Wenming from China's Nuclear Technologies Association. Mr. Wang, good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. This is ceremony holding site, and so what happened this morning?
Actually, there are two activities this morning. One is to to show the rewards for the popularization awards or the nuclear science. Another is to show the awards for the base of nuclear popularization. Of 10 institutes.
Can you show us the tour inside this exhibition?
This way, please.
Okay. I just mentioned during my live streaming to the audiences, they actually, even including me, we do not know much about the nuclear science and nuclear technologies. Could you tell us about, just as a student to listen to you about this sector?
Actually, nuclear science is every science about nuclear. That is a very, very microscopic science. You have no chance to contact that, but actually you can feel it in this exhibition area. You can feel it in our even modern everywhere in our modern life. Next, I will show you some interesting points.
Oh, great!
Interesting points.
Please do.
Actually, I think you should be very amazing about this. This is lunar rover.
Probe.
Yes, lunar rover.
Robert.
Yes,
Robert.
this is a real model of our Chang'e 3rd. Do you know Chang'e the 3rd?
Okay.
Chang'e 3rd is Chang'e 3rd is very special.
Very special.
That is one very special point for our nuclear guys, because this is the first time we use nuclear battery technology in the space in China.
Okay.
They have a radioactive nuclei, radioactive isotope.
I understood that the electricity to supply the use of this robot is
to generate the heat. Yes, generate heat because it's too hot here.
Different.
Yes, it's quite different.
Okay.
Actually, because it's too cold in the moon, you need heat. You need heat to make it work.
Oh yes, the back at the moon. So
yes,
it actually needs the very special.
Yes,
energy
this
source.
is a very interesting point.
This
I think
one of the examples.
another thing,
okay.
you should be amazing about that. Even foremost, will very interested in it.
Okay. So
because this is also a tech of our nuclear. I just press this button. You can see that.
Press this button and
we can use the nuclear detector technology to just reprint the footprint. The footprint.
It shows
fingerprints
and helps people how to discover, to solve the criminal cases. There's some stories happening on the screen. This is very special. So could you tell us what is this cup and what is inside this liquid? And what is the relationship between it and also the...
I don't want to go deep into the detail of the tech, but actually normally it is used the spectrum, the light spectrum of the... Because if there is a fingerprinting on it, the light spectrum will be different. So you use this information to reproduce your print.
I got it. And we can also come closer to the screen with Mr. Wang explaining what is happening on the screen.
Okay, this is just to explain what I just said, to how to reprint your trace on the criminal spot.
Okay.
This is just a Chinese story about a semi-real case. You know, a semi-real case. Okay. This is half real and half. The background is different, actually.
Okay, actually, after the past few minutes, I got it. And the nuclear science is not only related with the power or energy sector, but also the medical treatment and also the heating system in the urban areas, but also in solving crimes, in solving crime cases. That is really amazing. So can you tell us how your society is trying to do to letting people know about the nuclear sciences or nuclear industries?
Actually, as for our nuclear guys, the public acceptance is quite important because we cannot wait the public to reach us. We need our reaching them. That is the importance of a nuclear popularization. We need to tell them that. We need to let them feel that the nuclear is safe and nuclear is useful and clean. Another thing is, as for us, we need to encourage young people to join us, to make more contributions to our nuclear industry. So we need outreaching them, outreaching our potential scientists and engineers.
Okay.
This is the importance of our popularization.
Mr. Wang, I see the booth here. They're selling coffee and dessert and some kind of souvenir. So what is this booth all about?
This is just a very active public acceptance case of just one of our corporations, such as CNP Corporation.
Another company.
Yes, another.
Come closer and take a look inside this booth.
So they are.
Well, actually, we see some kind of souvenirs, and they're selling coffee and desserts and letting people know about this, what is going on. And there is also the screen showing the nuclear technologies, the nuclear sciences, how it affects our daily life. So that is the effort the companies and institutes and also Mr. Wang, their society is trying to letting people know. But before that, I still have the question. Yesterday, I attended a seminar on nuclear safety by the Asia-European meeting. Still, a lot of experts are they recall the days, the daunting scene when the 2011 Fukushima accident happened. So even today, still a lot of people are concerned. Still a lot of people are afraid of the nuclear energy. So what's your general point and letting people know? So is it really safe?
Actually, you should define the risk. Risk means the possibility, multiple the effects. You cannot just say risk is a possibility. That is 1 million%, right? You cannot just say the risk is an effect. Like Fukushima is very terrible. You need to combine the two together. You get a point, get a number of it. For our nuclear guys, we can say that it's quite safe, more safe than you take airplane, more safe than you drive your cars, even more safe than you get killed in the coral.
For example, people would sometimes go to the hospitals to do the reactive, some kind of thing to detect our diseases, and we would say the reactive that would harm our health. So what about the nuclear facilities or nuclear power plants?
We have a very, very strict standards about that. If you are a worker in our industry, you have a total dose. We have a dose rate total every year. We have a very strict standard. Actually, we say that if you take a CT in the hospital, it normally like the 1 year's dose rate of our workers in the nuclear islands. So I think I don't like to use other examples for that. I just use these numbers, because you take a CT. We need 1 year to absorb your CT dose rate. So I think as for workers in our nuclear industry, it's quite safe, because we have many ways to protect them. And so even our workers are not worried about why the people living nearby to worry about it.
And also, what's the future about this sciences, technologies?
That's a quite good question. As in our nuclear guys all know, our final solution is from the sun, the fusion.
The fusion.
Yeah. Nowadays we are using fission energy, fusion is ourless. It is
quite different.
Yes, it's quite different, because it makes use of the light nuclei to combine together, like the sun. Our sun is the energy of our sun is originated from the fusion. So I think if we can control them. The only problem is we cannot control them now. If we can control the fusion energy, I think our future will be very, very bright.
Okay.
I think I should stop here. I need to talk some time here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wang, for showing us so many information.
Our future is there.
Okay. So that is a fusion reacting design center.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later, Mr. Wang.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Have a nice trip.
Thank you. Well, actually, we have to finish in the section of the science popularization, and with an expert Wang from the China Nuclear Science Association showing us a lot of information about this science. And we come to the so-called futuristic reactor, or the Future Nuclear Fusion Energy Program Execution Center. Well, last year I visited one of the China's institute in southwest of China. This is Southwest China's Physics Institute. They specialize in this program, and right now there is a nationalized center has been established. We can come closer to this. This is an international fusion reacting core the program has been organized and it's built by the 7 countries, including China, European countries, India, Japan, South Korea, Russia, and the United States, are trying to explore the new way. But we do not know exactly how the fusion energy is all about. We only heard it or saw it or watched it in the science films or books. So we come here and asking another expert to show us. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. I'm Zheng Bing, the reporter from CGTN English channel. We're doing the live streaming. Could you tell us what is so special? Because one of the scientists we interviewed said this is the future energy for us all, for human beings. So can you tell us all something about that?
Okay. Firstly, I think the ITER is a fusion experimental reactor. Fusion is different from fission. The fusion is the power of the sun and the stars. So when fusion generated, the very light nuclei combine together in very high temperature, about 100 million degrees. And then generate fusion reaction. So in this circumcision, we showed float I'm sorry.
Sir, actually, I got a question. Can we come closer to this model? This is a model of the ITER, the international project. We know that it is the 2nd largest after the International Space Station by the international scientists and countries. So how could you define, could you describe this reactor? Because past year in Astana, the World Expo, this model was once demonstrated to the public. So this is the 2nd time. Can you show us how does it look like and how it works?
Yes. You can see the fuel have fusion, deuterium and tritium around this area. And when it was heated to 100 million degrees, they can come
like a sun.
Like a sun. So we call the ITER man-made sun.
Man-made sun.
We bring the sun to Earth.
To bring the sun
to Earth. To Earth. So for this very high temperature gas, we call the plasma. It should be floating in this area. So we should have superconducting to produce the high, the strong magnetic field.
Okay.
Okay. This is very special.
I see there's a big screen, LED screen. So
yeah.
What is so special about that? This screen. We know that, sir. Actually, in the past, people always say during this international project, in the past year, this project has been finished the work halfway.
Yes.
So when this energy could be realized in our daily life?
Yes, I think you know from the very beginning, actually last year, 15th, we have the fusion reaction. However, after 15 years passed, we have not yet realized the fusion power in the world because the complicit have fusion reactor. Nowadays, we come to the facility construction phase.
So it still takes decades.
So
finish that.
So for the first stage of construction, we expect to finish on 2025 to produce the first plasma, and finally we expect to realize the fusion energy by the middle of this century.
Okay, so by the middle of the century. So
yes.
Can you show us, demonstrate this, how this LED works and how to let people know what exactly of this fusion technology?
Okay, for example, this is the 12 procurement packages manufactured by Chinese industry. This is Chinese contribution to the construction of this machine. And this is the name for for each of them. Up to now, about 70% of Chinese contribution was finished, and we made much progress. And we have a very good schedule control and cost control, and also the quality and assurance control.
Okay.
So we made I think we take the first position.
First position.
For the manufacturer of Chinese, have the components manufacturer. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the introduction to the fusion energy, the future energy. Thank you. Well, this is a screen and showing the future of these technologies, and according to that scientist, by the middle of the century, the new technologies, the future technologies of the fusion energy could be appear in our daily life. That's about this boost and the future technology. We come to this way. Well, right now we are still doing the live stream in CGTN, and we're introducing the exhibition, the 15th Chinese International Nuclear Technology Exhibition held in Chinese National Convention Center. Over 200 countries, 200 enterprises and institutes from over 50 countries are demonstrating the latest technologies on the nuclear sciences. And a lot of the international companies are located in this part. But due to the time, we are going to finish this live streaming. But in the end, after we talked about with the scientists in the institute, we know that the nuclear science, nuclear power is really, really important in our future life. And also the fusion energy is expected to affect us all. And that is the end of this live streaming from Beijing. I'm reporter Zheng Yubing from CGTN's English channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. 给大镜头。